So we're going to head into the first of our videos and some of the topics we're going to talk about today. And I thought this first one would be hilarious because, I don't know, I didn't watch the video, but I saw the title of it. I'm like, this is something that really should be watched here, right? Because the title of it was fantastic. So this is where we're going. So bear with me. We're going to get rid of some of this stuff here. Boom. We're going to keep that up, but we're going to get rid of this image. Yep. So let's go ahead and watch it. Don't do this to your penis. Don't do this to your penis is the name of this video. This is from a female doctor. Now, mind you, I would never take advice from a female about what not to do to my penis. But here we go.
If you love your penis, this video is for you. I'm Dr. Rena Malik, urologist and pelvic surgeon, and today we're going to talk about 10 things you should never do to your penis. Guys, I'm a urologist, and part of my job is to take care of penises. And quite frankly, I care about penile health, and you should too. In this video, I'm going to share the 10 things that you should be doing for your penile health that you probably didn't know about.
So I'm sorry, but literally, like, one of the first things she says, my job is to take care of penises. Like, you cannot write a better joke for this. And I think what she said just speaks volumes, right? So she got in. Do you imagine, like, spending years in college and spending money on education to become a doctor of penises? And then you tell your parents about this, and then you're proud of it, and then you talk to people on social media about how, man, I can educate you on your dick. I can tell you what to do with your dick and what to not to do with your dick because I care about your dick. Crazy.
And make sure you stick around till number 10 because that one's going to surprise you. Now, before I get into the video, I want to ask you guys a huge favor. If you guys have been following me for some time, have been watching some of my content, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. And if you are subscribed, make sure you hit the notification bell. I make content all the time on this channel. And a lot of times
She's got the Jew nose
because there's just so much stuff to do. But
She's
I
got
don't
the
want
Jew
you to miss
nose
great
there.
education all the time. And
But I don't think
I see
she's
that
Jewish.
Only 20% of you watching are actually
because
subscribed.
Jew girls
So
don't
please
like
do me a
penises.
solid favor, subscribe.
They don't
Share
do
the
that
channel
stuff.
if you can with your friends because it really means a lot to get this word out and help people around the world get the education they need. Number 1 is very simple. Don't ignore your penis. Now, a lot of you probably don't realize this, but the way your penis functions is a barometer of your overall health. We look at men who start having trouble with erections, and you follow these guys for 7 years after the start or onset of their problems, 14% of them go on to have a heart attack. And that's because we call erectile dysfunction the canary in the coal mine. But I always say,
What the hell of a goddamn, like, the canary in the coal mine. I have never had a problem with, I've never had erectile dysfunction. I've never had it. And I'll be 52 in, what's today's date? The 15th? In 13 days, I'll be 52. Never had that problem. A lot of people could tell you that too. Never had that problem. So, you know. But for someone to have these problems and it leads to heart attacks, that's crazy.
it is
It's
a
crazy.
marker of health because when you have good, strong erections and good, strong desire, it tells you a lot about your body. One, that you have good blood flow, your hormones are functioning well, your nervous system is functioning
I don't know what a
well,
gnat sock
that you're
is.
psychologically in a good place, right? Things are not stressing you out. And that you're not doing something that you shouldn't, meaning you're not taking a substance that might be affecting the health of your penis. That brings me to number 2. Don't DIY things for your penis. Now, I have seen it all. And let me tell you, there is
Okay,
no
got National
at-home
Socialist, I
remedy
got you.
that's going to help your penis get longer, get thicker, that's safe. There is no really concoction that's going to make it grow overnight, no matter what the ads promise you. I remember seeing an ad about someone pouring apple cider vinegar on their penis and saying it grew their penis like immediately. And I was like, this doesn't even make sense. But I understand there's a desperation around penile health. And
I can't imagine people are actually like, can you imagine someone sitting there and just Googling, how can I make my penis larger? Apple cider? Sweet. And they go to the grocery store and get a bottle of apple cider, come home and they're pouring it. I can't imagine people do this.
So people are very eager to see something help them in whatever issue they might be having, whether it's the size of their penis or they're getting erections. And oftentimes, a lot of these things are unproven, they're unsafe, and they could cause harm. Let me give you some examples. So one is jelqing. Jelqing is where men use their own hands and pressure from their own hands to do stretches of their penis, which can increase penile length. Now,
this baffles me because I'm a guy, and I have no idea what she's talking about. So it's funny that a woman can tell you what a guy does with their penis, like jelqing. I've never fucking heard of this, and I know my own penis, but here's a woman telling me about it, right? I don't get it.
This is a problem because a lot of times when people do this, they are causing little tiny fractures of their penis over time, an injury to their penis. And that can then lead to erectile dysfunction. You can ask...
She's talking about how we create fractures in our penis because we jelq it, like whatever the hell that means.
Urologist, we've
right?
all seen young guys who've been jelqing to excess. And guys, you know this, right? If I tell a guy to do something that's going to help his body, he's not going to just do it like half-ass. He's going to go all the way in. And so you're going to go too far and you're going to hurt yourself. And then you'll have irreversible damage to your penis. So please, don't do it. Another one is guys putting on constriction bands that they make at home. So I think if you watched my constriction band video, I shared where a guy
I don't
put
care
a
about that other
construction
video.
band on his penis, and we had to get a jiggly saw from the fire department to get it off in the ER. Guys, I'm not making it up. He was, I think, altered when he put it on. He passed out, and so by the time he came in, his penis was so swollen there was no way he was getting it off. Another guy had taken a plastic...
This camera does her nose no justice. Like I think she's probably sat there for 7 hours and figured out the best view to make sure that her humongous nose wasn't an object in the camera. But you cannot ignore that nose.
Coke bottle. He had cut out a ring from the plastic Coke bottle and got it stuck on his penis. It is not worth it. Buy a constriction band. You can get one for like $20 on Amazon. It is much, much safer. They are made to be taken off safely and easily.
I mean, she's a pretty woman.
Keep it clean. I think everyone realizes that they should keep their penis clean, but what happens is when guys have a foreskin, sometimes you forget to pull the foreskin back or clean under there or dry under there, and that can lead to things like balanitis.
No foreskin.
Infections of the foreskin.
100% circumcised.
And it can be very uncomfortable. So make sure you are always taking the time, pull back the foreskin, clean under there. If you can't pull it back, that's a problem, right? Because while penile cancer is exceedingly rare, there are cases where people will develop a cancer on their penis, and because they could never pull back their foreskin, they can't see it. So I always tell people, make sure you can pull your foreskin back. If you can't, make sure you talk to your urologist, talk to your doctor. Sometimes it can be reversed by using a cream or a small device, or you can have a circumcision. But ultimately, you always want to be able to pull it back, clean under there, look, inspect your penis, and put it back. In that same vein, I would avoid aggressive cleaning.
Isn't that what a wife is for? Or a fiance or a girlfriend? To inspect your penis? Why do I need to do this every day? When I'm in the shower, sure. But isn't that what a wife, a fiance, and girlfriend is for? To inspect your penis every day?
Because I think sometimes people will use these really scented or strong soaps, and this can actually cause irritation. The skin on your penis is not meant to be aggressively washed, right? It should be clean, let soapy water run through, make sure there's no smegma buildup, and keep it clean. But don't be aggressive. Don't wash it aggressively. Don't rub it aggressively, because you will cause irritation of the skin and maybe even lacerations.
Do people do this? Do people do this? Are you this aggressive with your penis that you cause lacerations in your penis? Like,
Number 4, don't ignore pain or other warning signs. If you guys see a problem with your penis, please talk to your doctor. Do not ignore it. Sometimes it could mean you have a sexually transmitted infection. Sometimes it could mean that you have a urinary tract infection. Sometimes if you see blood in the
No
urine,
pain
that could
here.
be a sign of a kidney stone, bladder stone, or worse, cancer. Could be cancer in the bladder, could be cancer of your penis if you see an ulcer there or an ulceration. So guys, don't ignore it. I know it's really hard to go see a doctor and show them your genitals and be vulnerable and tell them what happened and feel like you're getting judged because maybe you had unprotected
Yeah.
sex. And I understand.
It's hard. But when you go to the doctor, it's definitely not hard. But I would think it's easier to go to a male doctor and talk about your genitalia than it is going to a female doctor. So if I went to a doctor and I'm in the lobby and I'm waiting for my turn, and then they call me and I come in and I'm there, hey, look, I got some issues with my genitalia, and a female doctor walks in, we got problems. I'm not staying. I'm going to leave. Now, I prefer a male doctor. I'm not gay, but I just prefer a male doctor because I think it's a better conversation I can have as opposed to having that conversation with a female doctor.
Understand that completely, but
I
it
don't
is
know.
not at the cost of your health. If you feel judged, please find another doctor. But ultimately, we want to make you safe and healthy. And I will tell you, the saddest stories in my history
We
of taking
appreciate
care
that.
of patients is one where guys ignored ulcers on their penis and had a penile cancer. Penile cancer is very aggressive. It is exceedingly rare. I've probably seen, I don't know, a handful of cases in my entire career.
It's funny that she talks about penises and says handful in the same sentence there.
Because it's so rare. But when it happens, it's really scary. It's really traumatic. And guys ignore it because it's so scary. They don't want to have anything done to their penis. But let me tell you, you take care of it early, you will have much less done to your penis than if you wait too long.
If you get to a certain age, you really don't care. Because if you're married, then you're like, I'm never having sex again anyway because I'm married. So what's the point? If you're single, who cares? Who cares, right? But if it leads to death, yes, that's a problem. But like, what do you really need your penis for other than taking a piss, right?
Number 5, stay in control and be safe. There is nothing hotter than safe sex. If you're having sex with someone, you're not worried about getting an STD, you're not worried about getting pregnant, you can be fully uninhibited. You can be fully vulnerable, which allows you to have great sex. So always prioritize safety. There are so many ways to be safe with sex. There's so many different types of condoms. You got to experiment to find which one is right for you, the thinnest one, the one that feels the best. Have your partner involved in the process, but always please be safe. Now, in terms of being safe, the other thing I want to say is stay in control. Now, why stay in control? Because things can happen like penile fracture. So if you are having very vigorous sex,
What is penile fracture?
and your penis is erect and it bends because maybe you hit the pubic bone, you don't hit the vagina by accident, you pull out and you hit the pubic bone, you will then potentially fracture your penis. And this is
What the
a
fuck?
surgical emergency.
Does this actually happen? Isn't it? I would love to know if somebody actually had this happen.
When
Like,
this
I don't want to
happens,
see
you
it,
gotta
but
go to the ER and we have to take you to the operating room because we need to repair that tear. When this happens, you tear the outer lining of the erectile tissue or the tunica albuginea. And this
The what?
needs to be repaired. If you don't
the tunica albuginea.
repair it and you wait it out at home, over time, about half of people who do this will get erectile dysfunction. And so it is much better to go to the ER and get this repaired, surgically repaired, so you can maintain erections rather than dealing with issues with erectile dysfunction later down the line. And you will know when you have a fracture. This is usually when this happens, you'll hear a popping sound, you'll feel significant pain, and your penis will get very swollen, something like an eggplant penis. It's really
God damn! Like, can you imagine that? Like, that is awful. Can you imagine? You're in the job, and then you hear a pop, and then you just explode. Like, I think the woman would be the first person to know something's going on before you would, right?
important for you
If
to
it swells that
maintain
much.
control. Ideally, hold on to your partner's hips so you can sort of control how fast things are going and the angle at which they're going at, so you don't have an accident that leads to a penile fracture, and you can maintain the strength of your erections. And the other thing that helps is lubricant. I cannot tell you enough times how important it is to be well lubricated. And guys, lube is fun. It makes things slippery. It makes things more enjoyable. You don't have to feel like there's something wrong with your partner if there's not enough lubrication. This is a normal part of aging.
What a doctor. Can you imagine coming into this office and having a conversation with this woman for like an hour about lubricant and penile fracturing?
Women tend to lose lubrication as they go through perimenopause and menopause, and sometimes younger women have less lubrication because of medications or genetics or a variety of different things. It does not mean they are not aroused. Number 6, don't make it hot. Now, what do I mean by don't make it hot? I mean that you want to keep your testicles in a relatively cool environment. So the reason that testicles hang outside the male body, whereas women's ovaries are inside, is because they need a very perfect temperature in
Keep your testicles cool.
order to produce sperm. If you expose your testicles to a lot of wet heat, this can lead to changes in your body's ability to produce.
So wait a minute. So this is a female problem then. So we can't control that. The environment we put our testicles in is the female. So we can't control the temperature of that female, the wet spot, right? We can't control that.
Sperm, which can then lead to infertility, and it can potentially affect your testosterone. So what I would say is avoid having a lot of exposure to things like jacuzzis, steam rooms, things like that. Try to limit your exposure to them. Also, when you are sitting or using a laptop, try to make sure you have something in between your genitals and the laptop. Ideally, keep your phone in your back pocket, not in your front pocket, because all of these things emit heat and they can affect your testicular health. Number 7, be nice to it. So what do I mean by
this is probably going to be controversial here. Be nice to it. Now, I don't even need to go into this part of the video without knowing that, hey, we probably do, all of us, really take good care of our buddy, our best friend. Everybody talks about having best friends and things like that, and family and whatever. But our penis is our best friend because we talk to it and, we hang out with it more than anybody else. So we already know how to be nice to it. We don't need your information on this.
be nice to it? Well, what I mean is when you masturbate, try not to be very aggressive with your penis. Things like death grip that I've talked about before, essentially when you masturbate very aggressively with a very strong grip. When you do things like that, that is not something that can be replicated by a vagina or a mouth or another anal orifice. It's not going to work, right? So you will then find that your body becomes habituated to that kind of intensity, that kind of pressure that you can't replicate with another person. And then
the fuck I can't. I got 2 pretty good hands. And I could replicate anything. From all the women I've known in my life, I could replicate a mouth, a vagina, and an anal cavity pretty goddamn good. Can you imagine having to go into a doctor, this doctor, and have this conversation? How embarrassing that would be, and how much giggling would be going on? I would be giggling my ass off through this whole conversation.
You might notice that you're starting to have trouble.
Just to add, I will give her 100% credit for getting through this video without laughing.
Getting aroused or maintaining your erection because it's just so different. So what I mean, be nice to it, is I mean try to masturbate in ways that are similar to the way you would be aroused with a partner. And use lubricant and enjoy pleasure. Don't make it a shameful, like hiding in the corner as fast as you can type of experience. Number 8, don't...
Look, man, we go as fast as we can because we got shit to do. We don't need to turn this into a 30-minute masturbation technique. We need to turn this into a 5-minute because we got other shit to do. We got to go to work. We got to cut the grass. We got a movie coming on that we want to watch, a Netflix upload. We got shit to do. So nobody's taking their time with this shit, right?
Smoke and take care of your health.
Don't
Guys,
smoke.
smoking will kill your erections. 100% smoking will cause erectile dysfunction.
Look, I'm going to call bullshit on this one because I've been smoking since I was 11. I am going to be 52 in 13 days. So I've been smoking for 41 years. And it has not killed my erections at all. I call bullshit on this. This is why you should not be taking information from a woman. This woman has no idea. The only thing she knows about erections is what it feels like in her mouth, in her hand, in her vagina, and in her ass. Other than that, the only people that know the best about their fucking their penises is the guy. The guy.
So
This is a joke.
People who smoke get bladder cancer. I see it all the time. It is one of the worst cancers.
I have no
because
bladder
there's
cancer
so
either.
much looking in the bladder with cameras, and sometimes when we do have to do surgery, these are really big surgeries that will change your life dramatically. Overall, your lifestyle matters so much. Now, this is not sexy. It's not quick. It's not easy, but it is so important for your penile health to have a good lifestyle. Remember when I mentioned in number 1 that in 7 years, 14% of guys with erectile dysfunction will get a heart attack? That's because erectile dysfunction is a measure of blood flow.
So I had a heart attack 10 years ago, maybe 11 or 12 years ago. What year was it? It was 14 years ago. I had a heart attack. But it had nothing to do with my penis. It had to do with work. So everything she's talked about has not affected me. I'm not saying tomorrow I might not have a heart attack because, I don't know, I wanted to get an erection. And, I don't know, I'm watching amateur college orgy and I didn't get an erection and I have a heart attack. Right? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. For some, it may happen. It may be some kind of healthy issue that they have. Now, I'm making light of this. That's fine. I'm making light of this and I get that. But, you know, be healthy and take care of your body. And it's a subject that a lot of people don't want to talk about. It's your genitalia, right? And a lot of people are sensitive about that. It's not something you just walk into an office and talk about. It's embarrassing. It's very hard to talk about. But don't be alone. Don't try to figure it out on your own by Google searching shit. Seek your doctor out and kind of find out what's going on with your life, because it's amazing what can kill you. All the way down to the fact if you have a bad tooth and you don't go to the dentist and take care of it, the abscess is poison and it can kill you. A bad tooth can kill you. So just imagine that's your tooth. Now think about your genitalia, right? It can kill you. So take it seriously, though. And we joked around for half an hour about this, but take it seriously.
A measure of so many things. It's a biomarker of your health. And so if you remain healthy, your erections will remain healthy. So that means eat a healthy diet, avoid smoking or any other drugs to excess, try to minimize alcohol.
Again, the smoking, like she's talking about alcohol, the smoking and the alcohol. I've smoked for 41 years, and I've been heavily drinking just beers, nothing else, just beers, over the last 5 or 6 years. Doesn't affect me.
Exercise regularly, aerobic exercise and
I don't exercise at all.
Important. Aerobic
Not one
exercise
bit.
is great for blood flow, and resistance training is great for testosterone. So all of those things are so.
I'm not saying don't do this stuff. I'm just saying it has not killed me yet. Now, I could not wake up tomorrow and karma will get me, but I haven't had an issue yet.
And I
that I know
can't
of.
stress them enough. If you don't know how to start, take it one baby step at a time. Do something that is so simple that you can't ignore it. I love this book, Atomic Habits. I'll link it in the description. You can apply that model to anything, and it will help you make changes in your life that are positive. And lastly, try to minimize stress. That goes into lifestyle, right? We don't talk about it enough, but when you are chronically stressed.
I love that in the background she has a YouTube plaque for that is 100,000 subscribers, and she's talking about penises. Now, I'm sure she talks about other stuff, but she literally uploaded a video about penis health.
Stress is great. We need stress in our lives.
Good for
but
her.
If you are chronically stressed, this has a huge toll on your overall health, including your sex drive, including your ability to maintain erections. So if you find that you are someone who is chronically stressed, you need to do some investigation on how you can reduce that stress and what you can do within your control to improve your quality of life.
So, what do you think usually causes stress in people's lives, though? It's financial issues, it's finding some place to live, it's relationship issues, it's your work. I think those are the four most biggest issues that cause stress in your life, with number one probably being financial issues, right? So, it's hard to control that when it's being controlled by someone else. And yet, we want to say the word, the government, right? So, when you can't control what you're most stressed about, you can't control that stress. The only way you can control financial stress is by just working really hard and trying to get promoted, move to the next level, make more money, and that's where that stress kind of disappears. But however, as you promote, the workload gets a lot heavier. And some people may disagree with that, but as you get higher up in the ranks, as I've been there, the stress is more because the expectations are higher, a lot higher. The spotlight on you is much bigger than someone who is at an associate level or ground level. The spotlight is really tiny, and you're looking at everybody. But as you get a little bit higher, the spotlight's bigger, and it's only on you. So yes, there is more stress with making more money. It is true. I've been there.
Number 9, be nice to yourself. And this is because when I find that men have trouble with their penis, they are really hard on themselves. They are so stressed out about being with their partner.
Just hearing her say the word penis really just like it's...
about how their penis looks, about how it performs, that they have so much stress and anxiety around the act of intimacy.
That's because, and you say this, but that's because in today's day and age, what do we see the most of on social media, right? And everybody, I don't give a shit, but most young people coming up, Gen X, Gen Zers, whatever the fuck they're called, they watch on social media about all these women want someone with a certain height, a certain size, they have to have a certain job, a certain pay, you have to make this much money, and you know damn well it also is about their penis too. So if you have a 6-inch penis, they're not going to give a shit about you. If it's 8-inch, they may talk to you. If it's 10, they're all about you. If it's 12 or more, man, they are going to be the most loyal woman in your life until they cheat on you. So it's peer pressure. So you can say all you want about this, but literally it is the women out there making this hard for men as they grow up.
Of being with their partner. And that just amplifies, right? You feel like, for example, I tell people you get a problem in the bedroom. You can't get an erection one time. The next time you try to have sex,
And I don't know what causes this, but my Lord, man, if I'm in a bedroom with a naked woman, there is no fucking way I am not going to get an erection. There's no way. Dude, I've got an erection just walking towards the bedroom door. Because we're walking to the bedroom door, and I know what's probably going to happen. I'm already fucking erected. I'm already there. It's just a matter of finding out how to get her damn clothes off and into bed and sweet talk her ass into the situation that I want to get into. So there's no way I'm not erected. Now, so I don't understand the erectile dysfunction and where that comes from. It may be a chemical imbalance. It may be, like she's talking about, from smoking and drinking and stress and whatever. But I've been through a lot of stress, a lot of drinking, and a lot of alcohol in my life. And I've never had a problem with being erected, ever. Maybe I'm the 1%.
Thinking about that the whole time.
Maybe I'm 1%.
And that stress is going to make it even harder for you to get an erection. So then you won't get an erection. And then that stress amplifies and it becomes this vicious cycle. So be kind to yourself. Everyone has fluctuations in the function of their penis. There will be times where it just won't work. And that's okay.
Girl,
Once
I
in a
am
while,
very
doesn't
kind to
mean
my
your life is
penis.
over. It will come back. But do not be mean to yourself and treat yourself badly and cycle in this horrible state of stress. Guys don't talk about this. They don't share their stress with anyone, which makes it even worse. And that brings us to...
Because we're not allowed to. We're not allowed to. Because men over the last 30, 40 years have been taught that we cannot be emotional. And that is this weird aspect that everybody puts out there, that men are not allowed to be emotional. So they can't discuss things that may be emotional to them. We have to be hard. And not hard as in erection, but hard as in life. Like we have to be tough. We can't talk about things. Because you know what? Guys do get emotional about things. Things do bother us. We're a human being. A lot of things bother us. We could sit there and watch, for example, there's a song called Monster by an artist, I forget his damn name, but the guy's singing about his father passing away because he got cancer. A guy could watch that video and break out into tears within a minute. I mean, like instantly, almost instantly, break into tears. But he can't do that in front of a woman. Can't do it. We're not allowed to. We're not allowed to be emotional, talk about things. And that's just how shit happens.
Number 10. Use it or lose it. Is there any truth to the famous adage, use it or lose it? Well, sort of.
I don't know what that means.
So one is sometimes people stop using it because they're not getting erections anymore, right? And so they're not getting erections with their partners. They just really stop because they're embarrassed or they're stressed or their partner's also not wanting to have sex. But the issue is if they're not...
Which, oh my God, never happens, right? Your partner never not wants to have sex. So as a guy, as soon as you get married, it's funny. You're dating, and I've been through this. You're dating, you're engaged. The sex is crazy. Like you're having sex in trees. You're having sex on a bridge. You're having sex in the ocean. You're having a sex in a fitting room at Walmart. But as soon as you get that ring on your finger, the sex stops. Nope. It's over. It's over, man. It's done. Right? So your use it or lose it technology is bullshit. And all this is based on the woman. Because if the guy is like aggressive about sex, guess what he's labeled as? He's labeled as a rapist. He's labeled as a rapist, right? How did my camera get out of focus? I'm getting a little pissed off here. How did my camera get out of focus? I'm right here. There we go. So again, back to that. If you're aggressive about that, then they go off on you. Like, you have no choice.
Having erections, and they're also not having erections at nighttime, that's when it becomes a problem. Normally, during the night, you have 3 to 5 erections. And when you have those erections, that's your body's way of protecting your penis, making sure...
No, I usually have erections in the middle of the night because I have to piss. So usually when if you drank a lot right before you went to bed or you had a lot of beverages or something, you wake up in the middle of the night because you have to go take a piss. And as soon as you're done taking a piss, that erection is gone. It ain't because of anything else.
Good oxygenated blood flow. And when it stops getting them, then you start noticing that maybe your penis is getting a little shorter. Maybe the tissue feels a little different because maybe it's getting some scar tissue. And so, yeah, if you don't continue to have erections at nighttime, this could be a sign that you might actually have some shrinkage of your penis. The other thing is...
Or because you were in the pool. You were in the pool. That's why it was shrinkage.
If you have low sex drive, and oftentimes that can be related
George
to stress,
Costanza.
sometimes that can be related to hormones, a variety of different things. But if you start noticing that your sex drive goes down, or you avoid sex for some period of time, your body will then sort of realize it doesn't need it anymore. And so your drive will continue to decrease because
I've never had that problem.
No longer really allowed yourself to feel that urge. Well, that might not be a problem for some people. That might be a problem if you're in a relationship and your partner wants to have sex. I think there are so many...
But the thing is, when you're in a relationship, your partner never wants to have sex.
Benefits to having sex and having intimacy with a partner. No matter your age, no matter what you do, it is really, really important. You need to make the effort. Your partner needs to make the effort. Not everyone wants to have sex all the time, but there is...
I want to have sex all the time. That's a lie. I'm joking, of course. You don't want to have sex all the fucking time. because you got so many things on your mind. But when you get home from work, you're like, man, she looks pretty good. You know what I mean? And you kind of want to have sex. Or it's right before you go to bed and you're laying in bed and you're looking at watching TV. You kind of like, she looks pretty good. Yeah, I think I might do that. You know? So it's not like all the time, but there are a lot of moments where you want to do that.
How sex could actually save your life. Make sure you check that one out. And as always, remember to take care of yourself because you are worth it.
So, I mean, it was a good video. It was a good video. I'll give it to her. Let me get out of this. So her channel, her name is Rena Malik, MD. I'm going to go ahead and subscribe to her because I think that content was pretty good. And it sounds like she has a lot of other shit that might be pretty good. This video has almost 16 million views on it since May. So 6 months, 16 million views. I'm going to go and give her a like. So head over to her and give her a sub. She is, I joked around through the whole video about stuff, but she seems like she knows what she's talking about. And it was a pretty informative a video, and she had a lot of information to give out and advice for people. So head over, and if you can see it, there it is right there. Serena, right? Rena Malik, MD, medical doctor, whatever. So she has 2.68 million subscribers, and this video has almost 16 million views on it. So as a penis owner, I greatly appreciate your penis. I know the comments are probably legit, right? Only 10,000 comments on 15 million views. That's crazy. Well, that's a headline that you just have to click. The title made it impossible to not click, but this is legit professional content. Thank you, doctor. What's the title again? Don't do this to your penis. Like, this is exactly why I pulled the video up. Because of the title of the video. So she did a pretty good job baiting. This is not a clickbait title. Because it literally was a video about a penis, right? Never ever pee on an electric fence. Came for the clickbait, stayed for the professionalism. Awesome doctor with a K, right? Every time she said tear or fracture, I had shivers. Like, absolutely. As soon as someone talks about how you can tear or fracture your penis when there's no bone in there, it's like, oh, wait a minute. How can that happen, right? I smoke, and I'm in the process of quitting. That's because I'm working out daily. It's hard, but I can't do it. But I can do it. Wish me and to all people who are fighting to go back on the right way all the best. All right. So, kudos to this guy. I'll give him a like there. Kudos to this guy. And it's hard. I smoke and I drink. And they're bad habits, and they're hard to get rid of. They're really hard to get rid of.